to the Anjuna Deep Edition.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Kirkland and you're listening to episode 248 of the Anjuna Deep Edition.
Hello guys, what is
Professional development. Follow practical classes and practice on interactive solutions. Be part of the inclusive dental community. Meet the pioneers of the industry and exchange ideas. Attend virtual scientific conferences from the comfort of your home. Discuss breakthroughs in the a place where professionals come together to
Hello Martin,
enfin quelqu'un qui parle. Ça va la forme?
oui, on entend fort la vidéo, c'est normal?
Alors,
Oui Martin. Comment ça se passe?
ça va, je vais streamer en live le salon, mais je cherche avec quelle app je vais faire ça.
Tu peux peut-être mettre simplement une app de record de ta caméra et tu retournes ton PC ou un truc comme ça et tu partages ton écran.
Autobooth.
Enfin, je m'en occupe. Hein.
Thank you. Ça c'est pas mal.
Ouais, bien.
Il y a Mamal Walid qui est là. Ça te semble bien?
Ouais, c'est bon.
On va faire un petit peu mieux. vois dans la... Orlando, t'as enlevé le screen, tu l'as mis à un autre endroit?
Non.
Mais non, c'est moi parce que je vais mettre les slides dans 2 secondes, Martin. Donc ça sert à rien de mettre ça sur le grand écran. Mais comme ça, c'est à côté de notre.
Ah, ok.
Voilà. Lock. Tac. Ok, super.
Alors, je vais peut-être le mettre entre les deux, Yann. Ça va, je vais le traiter. Je vais le mettre entre les deux screens. Les deux boosts.
Ouais, vas-y, comme tu veux.
Comme ça, j'enlève ce qui est en dessous parce que j'ai pas envie de.
Désolé. Là, Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Dentaverse AEEDC Virtual.
This is my first time to use this software.
Where are you? Are you in AEEDC or are you on your computer?
I'm in my computer. I use my
Okay, then please come to the blue area.
blue area.
We're about
Here?
to have
Yes,
the big blue area.
yes. No. I'm ready.
At the other side of the world.
Oh,
You can move
okay.
with your
Thank
you can move with your controllers.
you. Do that very much.
Okay. Everyone, please, you can take a seat, and I will start very, very shortly.
Pardon den Effekt. Guys, please don't click on the slides. Sorry. Please. C'est quoi Okay, hello everyone. Hello. Hello.
Sorry for the delay. Oh, it was a a very late night for us. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. All right, I can see my friend Julian has just arrived. Please, everyone, come take a seat here in the hall. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I had a problem there with my my microphone. I'm coming. Okay, apologies about that. There was a little hiccup. So for those who want to listen to the next half an hour introduction on Web3 and how this will apply to dentistry and more specifically Metaverse from the Chief Innovation Officer of Dentaverse, feel free to come to the symposium area, the amphitheater, and welcome to AEEDC 2023 virtual, where we do virtual things with a real impact. Sorry guys, just getting it in the right format. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, welcome to Dentaverse, as I was saying. You are here at the forefront of technology and collaboration. So, at the moment, you will see that at the back of the room, our team is live in Dubai. And I have stayed back in Belgium together with some other juniors who are helping to make all this mind-breaking technology and innovation happen. So first of all, for me, the most important is to give you a quick introduction to Dentaverse and the team who's been behind this amazing project so far to connect the future of dentistry in 3D. Now we will have a multiple number of really cool presentations over the next few days here, not only from geeks like myself, but from real dentists and real dental innovators. So I'm really here to talk more about Dentaverse and Web3 rather than talk about dentistry, but I will apply it a little bit. So with that said, Dentaverse, has three core pillars what we focus on. So our mission, which is clearly to connect the future of dentistry in 3D, increase innovation within dentistry, as well as bring and allow for a much closer collaboration thanks to the physical boundaries that are removed, like here. I don't know where everyone is from in the general audience, but I'm pretty sure they're from around the world, which makes this something very powerful. I can have a conference from the comfort of my home, and so this is really our mission. Now, in order to realize this mission and vision to create the hub and bridge the gap between the physical and virtual interaction, there is obviously a big barrier of entry for those that have never played video games or have a VR headset or have even the chance to speak to someone who has a VR headset. So in order to do this, our first goal, which we're focusing on at the moment, is to really build an inclusive dental community in order to be able to share this knowledge. We want to develop a very harmonious ecosystem, which is powered by the Web3 technology stack, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And this this is to apply what we call trustless technology for global collaboration. Now, trustless technology means that you don't actually have to trust the person who is in front of you, like myself, since the technology is interconnected and is direct, there is no need for trust, other than if there's a financial incentive. And if there's a financial incentive, then trust, this Web3 stack, which is backed by blockchain and micropayments, will be your key to removing what we call, in my world, finance and innovation, counterparty risk. And if I apply that to dentistry, I would take the example of someone who is buying for the first time from a new supplier around the world. The supplier might not trust you that you have enough money to buy the most up-to-date dental chair. Well, if you would be paying in crypto, the person would get the transfer globally instantly, and it means that all parties are happy. The chair will be sent, and the supplier will be paid. But there will be no waiting day. There's not 3-4 days for it to clear through the banking system, etc. So basically, that's our goal. Is to really bring this tech to our community here. $4K club, 4K global dental club, which is backed by a very, very unique 3D NFT, which some of you might have or might have not seen. Our team, our 3D team, worked tirelessly and endlessly to make this happen over the last 6 months. Our second major core project is what is being presented today in ADEC in real life, and which you should see at some point appear here also, which is our 3D platform. Now, although we are here in 3D, okay, sorry. Although we are here in 3D today, and you can see me walk about, right? This is only the beginning. In terms of graphics, this is very new. This is quite, I would say, basic where we are now. And so our 3D platform. I just heard a young little soul who just entered the Dentaverse. Who is that? Yeah, no. Okay. And so, yeah, we're really building this enormous, cool Unreal Engine 5 platform, which you should be able to see later on this platform, or if you're going to ADEC in real life, you will see it there. Then we have obviously the ADEC virtual exhibition here. We have Dentaverse Academy coming up. We have Dentaverse standardization and accreditation. We have Dentaverse universities. We have another virtual showroom coming up. We have the Dentaverse lens, which should be very, very interesting once we have a proof of concept there. But less about that. Let me keep, I'm going to move on. So this is our team at the moment, and still it's not our entire team. This here is from top left. Here we have our CEO, Martin Ravitz. Then me, Jan Brown, CIO. Alex, Junior Analyst. Evangeline, Junior Analyst. Adolfo, who is our Head of Growth. John Wenders, top right, who is our dental industry expert. Al-Walid, who is founder of Dentaverse, Mina, co-founder of Dentaverse, and our Saudi Arabian ambassador. He's in ADEC at the moment, and he's been instrumental in in the growth of Dentaverse. Leila Ibrahimli, she is a junior consultant when she joined us, but she's moving up the ranks very, very quickly and has helped us with live presentations, content creation. Sean, one of our head Web3 developers, Virginie Philippot, who is head of public relations, Dr. Tommy van de Velde, a key player in our team, as he is the only dentist, together with obviously Dr. Al-Walid, but the only experienced dentist with over 15 years experience. You should be hearing from him a little later today. Then we have Floris Keizer here, COO. Maya, I'm very always struggling to say her name, but she's working together with Adolfo and Adi. You can see here on everything that is content. And then here we have Samia Yachi and Orlando Vedovato, who are the geniuses behind this entire 3D world. They're the ones who have created it. They're the ones who have been working tirelessly. So a big, big applause to them. That goes out to the 3D team. So the impact of Dentaverse, very quickly. You know, we want to have a big impact on the dental industry in a positive way by using the Web3 stack. It's a tool for change. It's a catalyst for growth. We believe that anyone entering the Web3 space will have a long-lasting competitive advantage today, and you will hear more about that later. And we also, you know, really want to push everything that is dental innovation, digital transformation for dental and healthcare collaboration. So we believe that rivalry should be overcome by collaboration, and once this is done, you come into a spiral of infinite innovation. Now, Dentaverse, since we removed the barriers of the physical barriers, geographical barriers, and sometimes even the time barriers, means increased accessibility. You know, we break down informational barriers. We create an inclusive community for the dental community around the world. And this allows for a lot more people that you only need internet to have an access to Dentaverse. So in terms of economic growth, what we hope to achieve is you know, driving innovation within industry. Now, with innovation comes economic growth, because you have new revenue streams that are acquired. So in this case, I'm about to jump into my geek world. Okay, so this is as much as I'm going to talk about dentistry and how you know, we see it happening, but these new revenue streams that I'm talking about, they're all to do with digital ownership. And digital ownership is something which did not exist before 2009. This was linked to everything which is what we call today Bitcoin. Okay, now I'm not going to talk too much about Bitcoin, but the reality is that it was the first blockchain out there, and it has set aside a huge technological revolution. So with that in mind, I would kindly ask if there's anyone else in the room to direct themselves to the conference. I'm just going to go and have a look for the good students who are at the start of the room here. Let me just go and see if I can get a few other people here. Maybe I can use the hosting tools. So let's see how good our hosting tools are. Host. Okay, too bad. Too bad, too bad, too bad. And users. I'm just trying to send everyone to their seats. That's here. No. Okay, not working. Right, doesn't matter. So for those who are interested in Web3, here we go. So first things first, most people don't even understand what Web 1 and Web 2 is. So I am going to walk you through the history, a very quick history on the most important milestones in internet. So 1970 to 1980, very inspirational and smart guy from Massachusetts Institute of Technology developed a communication network between phones. It was quickly adopted by the US military. They funded the first very expensive network, which you can see here. Very quickly afterwards, you had what's called the Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol. Now, this is still today. So what was invented in the 1970s, 1980s is the protocol that I am using right now to stream and to talk to you here in 3D. So this protocol is now 50 years old. It was the first one. It had no state consensus, nor an ability to distinguish between what is real and what is not real. Then very quickly, for those who remember, in the 1980s, 1990s, we had dial-up network that started, and this was all based on the phone network and the cables. This was a very slow internet, and then very quickly came what we call Ethernet, and this was more linked to local corporate networks. It was a lot cheaper than using a modem outlet which connected to a phone line. And as soon as this really started taking pace, geeks around the world like myself, because me in 1996, I built my first computer. Now I remember all this very well here from dial-up network modems, and especially this 1990 to 2000 when the dot-com bubble, just before the dot-com bubble burst, I was very much using all these different services like Amazon, like Napster, like the World Wide Web, and hyper transmission, hypertext markup language, HTML. And this was completely on in the sense of developing the internet. Now the difference between Web 1, which you can see here, and Web 2 was that people used to be content eaters. So you receive content and you didn't have much to say. And then Yassine, could I ask you to maybe get away from the because he's blocking my slides. Okay, so the big difference between Web 1 and Web 2 was that in Web 1, you just looked at a website received. And in Web 2, you were actually generating data. So you yourself, you created data. Now, the key difference here is that this data that was created, was all used by what we call Web 2 companies. So you will know them: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, everything which is social media. Users' data became, content and was brokered by social media. And obviously, the white Wi-Fi came into existence, which allowed for a lot quicker, a lot more connections instantaneously, and especially the fact that we are talking today here in 3D means that our internet is pretty good. In terms of Web3, Web 2.5, you can see here, the Bitcoin white paper came out in 2009. 2010, Facebook hits 400 million users. 2013, the whole CIA monitoring mission was revealed by Edward Snowden. 2019, 2020, 5G networks were launched worldwide. Now I can tell you that, for example, here in Brussels, we still don't have 5G, so which will be also a very important infrastructure in order for all this tech and all this collaboration to work, especially in 3D. And this is where we are at the moment. We call it Web 2.5 because certain aspects of Web 3 are available, but not all of them. Now, in 2020, as you all know, we had the pandemic, which meant also that ADEC was unable to hold its physical event. So 2023 is the first time that they have a physical event again, if I'm not mistaken. And at the same time, the trends and the human habits have changed. So people are working more and more from home. People are working less and less, in big commutes. People are thinking a bit more about taking the plane before actually, going somewhere. You always ask yourself, is it really necessary, or could I do this over Zoom or over Teams? Now, in the future, well, right now, we are in the future. You can be able to remove that barrier of space and geographical distance and save time, save money, but still have the same impact. Even though it's virtual, the impact will be very much felt as a real real person in 3D. So, what's the backbone of all of this? Is of course connectivity. Now, speaking about it earlier on, I'm not going to bore you too much with this slide, but put it this way: if you look at it from a individual point of view, so you've got professionals in this world, you've got private people, and then you've got, when I say public, I mean governments, law enforcement, health services, tax reporting. Professional can be financial markets, corporations, can be any type of dentist, any type of healthcare, medical. And at the end of the day, we all leave a lot of data on the web when we browse the web and when we walk around the web, when we click the web, when we buy on the web, on Web 2, everything you do, you leave a digital imprint somewhere. And the smart people who understood this very early on, like Meta, like Twitter, like Google, monetize all this data, right? And they rarely share part of that pie with the larger audience. Now, this is a real business opportunity in Web3 for anyone who is able to collect data. So, going on to Web3 and the value of data. So that's the one thing where Web 1, 2, and 3 agree on, is that data has value. Now, it was always very hard to understand how this works in terms of actual monetization of the data. I'm not here to give you a course on how to monetize data. You will have to become a member of Dentaverse if you want to learn more about that. However, I can tell you that at the moment, many of you will have seen ChatGPT ChatGPT, the new open AI bot, and a bunch of other really cool AI bots that have come into existence, they are all driven by data. Now, most of you might not know what I'm talking about, and a little bit later today, in a couple of hours, Dr. Tommy van der Velde will be here talking about AI and how it's going to affect dentistry. So it's going to be a very interesting talk that he's going to give, and hopefully there'll be a bit more people in the audience. But that said, you know, in the Web3 world, AI and big data is key. It will be the driving force behind anything that is 100% trustless. And for that, we need blockchain, we need connectivity, and then to bring it all together, if you want to really bring it all together, you jump into Metaverse. Now, like we are here. Doesn't mean that Web3 can't exist without Metaverse, but it is a key component of the stack. Now, I just wanted to focus a little bit on blockchain, because this is really where I have a competitive advantage, because I know a lot more. AI, big data, this is a subject where I understand it and I know it, but I'm not completely at ease to talk about it. So there'll be a lot of AI content here in Dentaverse over the next 3 days together with ADEC Virtual, since this technology is proven to be very useful in dentistry for diagnostics, for all kinds of dental adjustments, digital small designs, and all the rest. So I'm just going to keep it very simple, very high level. What is a blockchain? Well, a blockchain is a shared ledger, and a ledger, as all of you that have businesses will know, it's an accounting ledger. That's what is meant here, debit, credit. And it is a book of final entry, so in which business transactions are recorded. Now, these business transactions on a blockchain, different to any other type of database, they are immutable. It means that when you inject something into a blockchain, you cannot take it back out. And this is what makes it so powerful. Now, a blockchain moves this data around. Data is information, you know, that's been translated into all kinds of different formats, like music, like text, like video. Well, on a blockchain, it kind of encrypts this and moves it around. It's a very secure database, and it only allows for what is called append-only databases. So it's very hard for a public blockchain it's impossible for a public blockchain to delete or modify content which is put on it. So if you put all of this together, you get, very simply put, a shared ledger and immutable database for transferring data very securely. Okay, so this is really why blockchain is the evolution of all our existing databases. You no longer have the worry of a hack. You no longer have the worry of someone changing information in a database. You are just simply put very sure that whatever's written in a blockchain, what you see in a blockchain, is what it is. And especially on public blockchains where it is public people who validate the transactions. It is not government, not an intermediary like a banking authority. No, it is you, me, and anyone else that wants to participate and believe in decentralization. So now I'm just going to have a quick slide on the whole metaverse side of things. So blockchain, which is really, let's say, the layer one of Web3. Surely metaverse is at the very beginning of its days. Hence the iceberg as a as a as a visual here. So, like I said, there's been a big learning curve on blockchains, brands around the world, and this includes partners and clients from our Dentaverse company. They're learning about it and they're using it as brand activation. Okay, so basically just having a 3D world where people can come in, a little bit like here, and can have minimal to no interaction. So although we are having interaction here right now, and I can also, I can move about, I can come and sit down here, and I can clap, do some dancing. But at the end of the day, the interaction is limited when you want to push it a bit further. For example, if you wanted to come and, as a student, learn how to do a molar extraction through a treatment plan using actual tools. So this is the early days of Metaverse, and it is very limited in interaction. So coming, this year, next year, and the years beyond, the 3D customer interaction is going to increase tenfold very rapidly, as those who are present in ADEC right now, they will get the opportunity to see our second platform, which is based on a much more engaging gamification engine called Unreal Engine 5. Now, anyone entering Metaverse today and scratching the surface of 3D engagement will definitely develop a long-lasting competitive advantage. Now, the simple reason is, and I'm going to draw you back to the days of social media, when companies never even thought about using Instagram or Twitter or Facebook to do their publicity. Look at the amount of users today. Look at the amount of advertising that's being sold. Look at the amount of companies that are on Instagram, that are on Facebook. I think today, if you're not on Instagram, you lose out something like 25% of business, especially in terms of local people and global visitors. You are not doing your business a favor if you do not have your digital imprint on the internet. So with that in mind, we move on. 2025, 2026, we see this as the era where digital ownership will become the new normal. Blockchain regulations will be in place, which is very good for all of us. It means that we know the framework we can work in. Now, crypto evangelists and Bitcoin maximalists, they will not be happy with blockchain regulation just because it means some sort of taxation. It means some sort of government oversight. However, as we know, it's very important to have the correct regulation. Too much can harm an economy. Too little can harm an economy. Getting it just right, very difficult, especially with new technologies. So if there's any regulators that hear me, please come to Dentaverse. Please come and ask us for advice. We are there to
Là dưới độ có hiện lên nè, độ má tao thấy cũng được. Thì đúng rồi.
so I'm gonna mute the people.
I'm gonna mute the people. nó vừa xem trên web được, là vừa xem trên web được thì không nói chuyện điện thoại được. Chỉ đi thôi, hoặc là những cái web, những máy tính nào có microphone á thôi thì nói được. Như mấy ông nhắn cái miệng nói thì nói được, ý là nói chuyện với nhau được trong cái không gian này luôn.
Sorry about that.
Félicitations Yann, félicitations Dentaverse.
Thank you, Julien. Thank you, Julien. I'm going to finish the presentation and then we can go talk. Okay, so as I was saying, regulation, super important for us to have regulation, to have a legal framework in which we can build, in which we can absolutely have a framework that allows us to be within government and to assist governments in understanding everything they're going to do, and how to leverage this. All right, we have someone here. I don't know where they're from, but that's super cool. This is really cool that we're getting a lot of traction here on spatial. I can see there's about 18 people in here right now, so that's really cool. 2027 and beyond. This is something where we will have what is called, mass adoption, and this mass adoption will be completely and utterly super quick. Like from 2027, which is only 4 years away, over 75% of CEOs in the top 1,000 companies believe that it will be part of their business as usual. So that's a huge number, and it means that people need to prepare for this. Governments, businesses, small businesses, dental practices, any business launching today, if they have not got a Web3 strategy or a metaverse strategy, they will lose out on market share and they will eventually, just not become competitive. So with that in mind, and we're almost at the end of this presentation, I just wanted to give our 10 layers that make up the metaverse for value creation. So at the very top of the pyramid, we've got content and experiences, which is exactly what you're seeing here right now. So these are virtual worlds and content. Applications are not here yet, but an application could be, for example, a CBTC scan, which is scanned in a dental practice, or scanned through some innovative technology at home, and then sent to a metaverse world whereby a dentist and a patient remotely can look and decide whether or not he needs to come in. But it takes away that first step where the patient needs to move and make his way to the actual dentist office. Now, it means also that the dentist could potentially diagnose and treat more patients in a day. So this is really what we mean with applications. Platforms, as I mentioned before, you are here in a spatial platform, which is our first platform. Now, it's made by 3D creators, IT developers, and it is really used to access and discover new different worlds and people and networking globally. This is something which is very, very much possible in Metaverse. And going forward, this platform you are in right now is our stepping stone. For those who are in ADEC, they are seeing for the first time our beautiful 3D platform, which has been created on a much more powerful engine. And you will discover more about that as time goes on. Obviously, infrastructure infrastructure which is very important for 3D worlds. It is computer intensive to have 3D worlds turning, so there will be a lot of upgraded infrastructure and a lot of integrations with legacy systems to make metaverses of value. The only thing where today I see as Chief Innovation Officer of Dentaverse is the operating systems of Metaverse. And when we speak about the Metaverse, sure, here we are in a 3D world and it looks like it's Metaverse, but I cannot just leave this and go into another world or another one and another one and another one. So the real Metaverse is just the digital twin of planet Earth, and that will require huge hardware and operating systems, and we're not there yet. Now, the fourth and really fundamental layer for any value creation is obviously payments, identity, security, privacy, and then right now there's thanks to blockchain, data can be monetized. So these enablers are the basis and the founding layers of any value creation, whether it is anywhere in the world. You need to be able to pay, you need to prove your identity, and you have to be very secure and sometimes private. Metaverse, obviously here I can't see your real faces, but I know some of you, and this is exactly why privacy in a world where you don't know the person in front of you might be of the essence. Data monetization, which is a very new one, whereby like I mentioned earlier on in the presentation, Web2 companies like Meta use your data. It's the equivalent of me coming into your house, taking all of your clothes, going to a market, selling it, and then giving you 0% commission, and then expecting you to be happy. This is exactly what's going on in Web2, and data monetization in Web3 is a whole different ballgame, because people will be able to monetize their data. Dentists will be able to monetize their patients' data and give their patients a cut of the reward. Now, I'm going to take the example of Dr. Dr. Ibrahim, who will be talking about cranial catch tomorrow. And the best example is that he uses CBTC scans to feed his AI algorithm, which does auto diagnostics. Now, this AI algorithm is fed by data which is generated by end users. These patients should receive some reward if the AI algorithm is improved thanks to their scans. And that is what data monetization will do. So a scan comes in from patients A, the algorithm is improved by 0.001% because it's a new case. Well, the person who generated that scan will receive data or will receive crypto or any other type of reward by the fact that his CBTC scan was used to improve the algorithm, i.e. it's going to be used to generate future revenue streams for cranial catch. However, tomorrow you will hear all about it directly from the founder and the owner. Okay, I've spoken 5 minutes past my time, so I'm going to say thank you everyone for listening to this presentation. And if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask. I will now unmute everyone and I will put on the spatial audio fall off. So if anyone here has a question, you're more than
For Martin, to Jan,
Brokerage, Dentaverse, congratulations.
Thank you, Julian. That's really nice of you. It's been a big challenge so far, but you know, a crazy adventure, and there is a huge amount of things going on in Dubai compared to what's going on here at the moment, and we should have a live stream from Dubai at very soon. So again, thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to speak to you, and the next talk will be in 4 hours. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to go.
Hi.
Hello. Who's speaking? Sorry, I was away from my. Wow, I can see a lot of people joining. Really cool. Anyone who wants to speak, at the bottom left, you have the microphone button where you can unmute yourself. So feel free to try it out. Feel free to talk to anyone who's kicking about here, and yeah, welcome.
Ça va, Yann? Tu m'entends, Yann? Bon, ben, tu m'as bien, il y aura des motifs, hein. Ça va faire, hein, c'est la première fois que. Ouais, la suivre au fur et à mesure.
Ah oui, et même quand on sera bon, c'est un peu.